Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
It looks beautiful outside with all this sunshine, but it's a lot cooler than it was yesterday. And some people tonight will be under a frost advisory. I'll let you know if it's you.
Plus, water restrictions in effect. The city of Raleigh is under stage 1 water use restrictions until further notice. What that means for your water use, your garden, and your yard.
Tariff refunds. American businesses can now apply for more than $166 billion in refunds. Why the check might be delayed. Cooler air is here after yesterday's front. Temperatures will drop into the 30s in some places tonight. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levinger. Thanks so much for joining us. This is why we have meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking that situation in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Elizabeth, show us just how cold it's going to get and where exactly we're going to see a frost advisory.
So from the Triangle area northward, we have a frost advisory that goes into effect this evening. It looks beautiful outside right now. You can see all that sunshine out across our area. But we're looking, of course, at a nice mild afternoon, but temperatures have shifted to the northwest at 15 miles per hour. That's really going to help to push in the cooler air. So 65 degrees currently, but tomorrow morning, our temperatures will be down to 31 in Roxborough, 34 in Lewisburg, 35 in Rocky Mount, 33 in Clarksville. We had south, not quite as cold, 41 in Fayetteville, 40 in Clinton, 39 in Irwin. So from the Triangle area northward, including Lee County and Johnston County, these are the areas that are under the frost advisory that goes into effect around midnight and lasts until about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, a lot of people have started planting. I know we're past the average latest freeze by a week or so. So I know people have already started to plant. So if you want to cover your plants tonight before you go to bed. Our normal low is 50. So these temperatures in the low to mid 30s that we'll see tomorrow morning are definitely well below normal. Once we get past tomorrow morning, we are well into the safe zone, 49 on Wednesday. And then our overnight lows are in the 60s as we get closer to the weekend. We do have the cool air in place with us right now, but you can see the nice warm up that shows up on the map. Our temperatures will climb back into the 80s by Wednesday, and we do at least have one chance for rain. We'll take a look at those warmer temperatures and a chance for some much needed rain coming up.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center this noon, we're following some breaking news on a very serious crash on I-87 in Cumberland County. Sky 5 flew over that scene just minutes ago. We do know right now that 2 vehicles were involved. You can see them there. One completely flipped on its roof. Right now, we're working to gather more details. We do know that this happened around 10 o'clock this morning. The incident involving a black truck and a gray Subaru. Right now, authorities saying that this road could be shut down on I-87 near Swallowtail Court until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We're working to gather more details right now in terms of the conditions of the people involved.
All right, thank you, Laura. Water restrictions are now in place for the city of Raleigh water customers.
Effective today, the use of sprinkler systems will only be allowed Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on your address. WRAL's Sean Gallagher is live at the Raleigh Golf Association. And Sean, that's an area that's used to seeing lush green grass already this time of year. How is this affecting them?
Yeah, that's really the dream, right? You want to come to a golf course and it be green, right? Well, Raleigh Golf Association actually pulls water from its own pond, so it is not.
Puffy clouds over Lake Gaston right now as you look live. You're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Heartbreaking. That's how many are describing the nation's deadliest mass shooting in more than 2 years. Multiple law enforcement agencies are investigating after a 31-year-old man shot and killed his 7 young children and a cousin. 2 women are also recovering from critical wounds. Ryan Chandler reports from Shreveport, where that community is in mourning.
This morning, neighbors across Shreveport, Louisiana, grappling with the aftermath of a massacre.
There is no sense in this.
Officials say the deadly act of domestic violence took the lives of 8 children between 1 and 12 years old.
The female saying there's 9 subjects that live inside the residence, saying he may have shot them all.
Police tell us early Sunday morning, Shamar Elkins shot his wife and another woman they believe was his girlfriend. Both of them are still alive.
They have a female with a gunshot wound to the face, saying the assailant left the scene.
Authorities say he then executed the children in this home. 7 of them were his own.
It is a disgusting and evil scene that our officers experienced.
Elkins then fled the area in a stolen vehicle, leading police on a chase. Home security video capturing the frantic moments. Officers caught up to him and exchanged gunfire.
Shots fired.
Elkins was pronounced dead at the scene. Police tell us he had been on their radar before, convicted in 2019 for the illegal use of a weapon. They say it's likely he was illegally in possession of the handgun and the rifle-style pistol used in this attack due to being a convicted felon. Elkins served in the Louisiana State National Guard for 7 years. He was never deployed and left in 2020 as a private.
Obviously, something snapped with this guy, and he went on this rampage. We had no way to predict that it was going to happen.
Now, as both adult victims remain in the hospital with serious injuries, their loved ones are leaning on community to hold together a broken family.
It doesn't make sense at all to wake up and to hear this kind of news that someone would shoot 8 innocent children. It's just unreal.
And that was Ryan Chandler reporting. Family members say Shamar Elkins had mental health problems and had recently expressed suicidal thoughts.
Goodness. A California woman charged with selling tens of millions of dollars in weapons to Iran faces 20 years in federal prison. The FBI arrested Shamim Mafi at LAX while trying to fly to Turkey. Federal investigators say that she helped Iran sell more than $70 million worth of armed drones to Sudan, as well as hundreds of bombs, 70,000 AK-47s, and 10 million rounds of ammo. The criminal complaint says that Mafi used WhatsApp to communicate and then told others involved in the deals to delete their messages.
That shows that you have intent. That shows that you know what you're doing is illegal and you're taking steps to hide it. Based on the information that's listed in here, I have to think the government's got a strong case.
Investigators say Mafi called and met with an Iranian intelligence officer dozens of times and used her business in the Middle East to take payments from Sudan for the weapons.
Jamaican sprinting legend Usain Bolt is offering advice to Australian phenom Gout. The 18-year-old recently surpassed Bolt's 200-meter time of 19.93 seconds set in 2004. On April 12th, Gout clocked a mind-blowing 19.67 seconds at the Australian Athletics Championships in Sydney. And that makes him the fastest teenager in the world at that discipline. Bolt, the 8-time Olympic champion, believes Gout and other young stars should exercise patience and stay focused on the sport.
I just hope he finds the right people. I think it's so big to transition and to have the right people to help to watch you, because when you, at that young age, because I was there, you start getting pulled left and right, and then you forget track and field. So hopefully he has the right set of people who actually help to guide him and to keep him focused on track and field, because the rest of the stuff will always be there. But if you mess up at track and field, then it all goes away.
Commonwealth Games as he focuses on pursuing gold at the World Athletics U20 Championships in Oregon in August.
And this is just a reminder for you parents, if you have a child that is interested in something like that, make sure you support them, because big things can happen. Okay, big things could also happen weather-wise. You're expecting some things to kind of dip down and some cold temperatures, and an advisory people should know.
Yeah, it looks like big things are happening here in Pinehurst. I mean, there are so many people out on the golf course. I guess it's a really nice time to be out because temperatures are not that hot. For today, right now, it's 66 degrees. We do have a northwest wind right now at 11 miles per hour. That's going to keep our temperatures on the cooler side. Even though it's lunchtime and it's 66, we still probably won't make it much past 70 for this afternoon. So it should be nice and comfortable. It's a bit breezy out there. We'll continue to see winds gusting at about maybe 18 to 19 to 20, 21 miles per hour. So a little breezy, but that breeze, of course, is pushing in that cool, dry air. So the burn ban, of course, is in effect until further notice. Our fire danger is high today due to the dry conditions and the breeze that we're seeing. But of course, the burn ban is likely to be in effect for weeks until we can really get a little handle on the drought, which just may be really tough to do this time of of year. Taking a look at what's going on out there, of course, the cold front slipped offshore overnight last night, and cool, dry air is filtering in. We're looking at 2 high-pressure systems sitting here and keeping us cool today and tomorrow, and then they slide eastward, reverse the wind to southwesterly, and here come the 80s again. Upper 60s to around 70 in the Triangle this afternoon, and mid-70s in Fayetteville, 74. It should be very pleasant if you're headed out to the Canes playoff game at Lenovo. It'll be pleasant in the evening, 5 to 6 o'clock. Temperatures will be in the low to mid-60s. Coming out of the game, it'll be pretty cool with the temperature of 51 at around 10 o'clock. So I know you'll probably have your jacket for the game anyway, so you should be all covered. It is going to be a cold start tomorrow morning. 33 in Roanoke Rapids, 33 Clarksville, 31 in Roxborough, 36 in Wilson, 35 in Siler City. So there are certainly some pockets where we could have some frost on the windshields. And of course, we have a lot of crops out there, strawberries, peaches, all of those early spring crops are out there. But most of the farmers have a good system out there to be able to keep their crops safe from the freezing temperatures. I would be more concerned if we were forecasting temperatures in the upper 20s, but I don't think we'll end up seeing that being widespread. There is a frost advisory, Lee and Johnston County northward all the way up toward Virginia. If you've already started to plant, just make sure you cover those plants, cover up your garden before you go to bed tonight. Our normal low is 50, and that's where we'll be on Wednesday morning. So it's just really tomorrow morning that we're most concerned about. And you can see just how far below normal temperatures are. Shaded there in blue, that's where temperatures are below normal. By Wednesday and Thursday, we start to see the warmth rolling right back in. What does that look like? That means we go from 68 tomorrow to 83 on Wednesday and then 88 on Friday. The next front coming our way happens on Sunday. Sounds familiar to this past week, right? And it may play out that very same way. Way out last week, we were looking at a good chance for rain on Sunday, but as it starts to get closer, it's looking a bit drier. We'll take a closer look at it coming up.
Elizabeth, thank you. Today at 5:30, tax fight brewing. Wake County leaders are taking a stand on a proposal that could impact how property taxes are controlled. What's at stake and how it could affect your wallet.
And then new at 5, jail at capacity. Wake County is running out of space. What's being done to ease the strain and what it could mean moving forward? The IRS has already paid out more than $69 million in refunds this tax season, with more in the works. And Maribel Gonzalez spoke to financial experts about how to get the best use of your extra cash.
So far this tax season, taxpayers receiving a refund will get back an average of about $3,500. That is up about 11% from the same period last year, according to the U.S. Treasury. Financial experts say there are a few ways to use those funds efficiently.
If they have high interest debt, we want to make sure that we're going to start chipping away at that. That's really going to help us, I guess, starting to get ahead at some point.
If you are planning a big expense in the next few years, like buying a car or paying off college tuition, using your refund towards those goals can help you borrow less and reduce the total interest you pay. Saving money now can also help you in the future.
I think people feel like they need to have a lot of money sometimes to really start putting money away. But honestly, the earlier you start, the less you have to put away, because over time it's going to compound, and that compounding really adds up over the years.
But no matter what you choose to do with your refund,
make sure you have a plan for that refund, because if you get that check and you set it aside or you deposit it and you're not really sure what you're going to do with it, you might just spend it, or it might go toward other things before you've done that constructive thing that you would like to do with it.
Meta is reportedly planning to lay off a lot of people next month. According to Reuters, the tech company plans to conduct its first round of layoffs this year on May 20th. The layoffs will impact about 8,000 employees, or 10% of Meta's global workforce. Meta is planning more layoffs later in the year, but details have not been confirmed. The layoffs are part of Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg's plan to reshape the company by investing in AI tools. Threats against Duke Health. A short time ago, a former employee answered to a serious charge. We were inside the courtroom for the hearing. A live report coming your way.
Plus, aging gracefully. Not from moisturizers or creams, but how you can tap into the fountain of youth through your diet. And we do have a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers right here on your screen.
Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
A former Duke Health employee is accused of threatening the university and its staff. Nathaniel WRAL made his first court appearance.
And actually, WRAL's Carly Haynes was there live inside the court. She was inside the courtroom. She's outside right now. And Carly, he was no longer an employee at the time that he's accused of these threats.
That's right. Duke Health officials say that Nathaniel WRAL worked within the system from 2022 to August 2025. And then according to arrest warrants, the threats happened about 3 months later in November. So inside this courthouse today, WRAL appeared on screen. Overall, the first appearance was very quick, lasting about 5 minutes in all. And WRAL was being held without bond. Today, the judge issued a $5,000 bond. According to the arrest warrant, WRAL posted online multiple times threatening his former workplace and former co-workers, saying he'd bring a gun or plant a bomb. Duke Health says WRAL previously worked as an appointment coordinator, and we asked Duke campus police for more information, including about the timeline of the incident to WRAL being placed in custody. We're still waiting on that response. Meanwhile, WRAL's next court date is scheduled for early May. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Durham.
We have some breaking news now here in the WRAL Live Center. A shooting in Winston-Salem. This happened at a park near a middle school. Let's get right to that video from our partners at WXII from the scene there. The SBI is currently responding to the shooting here on Robin Hood Road near Jefferson Middle School. We know 2 people have been killed. The shooting is not at the school, but at a park nearby. The school is now operating regularly and is open. Several people have been shot. We just learned recently from police that the initial investigation suggests that it was a planned fight that involved several young people, which escalated to multiple people shooting at each other. And police said that there are multiple victims. They have located some of the people involved in this. So we're going to continue to follow the latest here in the Live Center.
For years, developers promised shopping and restaurants and even a new sports venue in place of Cary's oldest mall, South Hills. But since voters decided they did not want to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to build the sports complex, new plans have been unclear until now. WRAL Investigates is giving us an inside look at what's next for the project.
I'm standing inside of an old used car dealership in South Hills. Developers originally had plans on making a sports venue, what they called an anchor for this new project. But now they tell me they found a new one. Part of this 70,000 square foot facility will be owned by the Carolina Ballet. The space will be used for ballet studios, black box theater, as well as rehearsal space and storage for their costumes.
Having these art forms more in the fabric is really transformative, and we see that in big cities.
The other part of the space will include an atrium as well as shopping and retail. This is like a new beginning for the project after voters said that they didn't want to pay for a sports venue here. Talk to me about across the street. What's the vision for that part of South Hills post-vote?
Sure. And post-vote, the vision isn't really different than it was pre-vote. I mean, with the main difference being that the Sports and Recreation Center that was going to be the centerpiece of the district is no longer in the plans.
Tonight, how this new building fits into a decade-long project here in South Hills. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, Cary.
New water restrictions are now in place for Raleigh water customers. That means we should not see any sprinklers running today. Automatic and manual sprinklers are allowed between midnight to 10 a.m. and homes with odd-numbered addresses can water on Tuesdays, even-numbered homes on Wednesdays. They ask you to water no more than a half inch per week, but handheld watering is allowed at any time. City staff and code enforcement inspectors will be monitoring water usage, and they will give out warnings first. Then violators will be fined.
Today, Vance County commissioners are holding a special meeting to consider a rezoning request for a new data center. Earlier this month, a lot of people were criticizing the idea of bringing the data center to their backyards. Well, county commissioners delayed their decision on it, and Ateli Holdings is a company proposing rezoning plans on 158 just west of Henderson. The official reason, though, in terms of why, that hasn't been shared, but residents strongly believe it is for a data center. Nearly 24 people shared their thoughts about the health and environmental concerns, along with the developer's attorney for the possible project. The special meeting is at 5 p.m. in Henderson, and it will also be broadcast live on YouTube. Today is the start of the Raleigh-Durham Startup Week, and there will be free events for entrepreneurs throughout the week across the Triangle. Some of the topics being covered today include AI, and that event will be at UNC. There will also be discussions about climate technology at NC State, and information on how to register can be found on the Raleigh-Durham Startup Week website. The American Tobacco Trail in Wake County is closing today, and this is for improvement. The closures will remain in place for about 2 months' time. The county didn't specify which parts of the trail are closing, though some parts will close partially and others will close completely.
Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes will try to make it 2 wins in a row to start the Stanley Cup playoffs. They will host the Ottawa Senators at Lenovo Center. The Canes won Game 1 of their series on Saturday, shutting out the Senators for a 2-0 win. The team gave the most credit to goalie Frederick Anderson for coming up big that night, and they say they need to support him even more tonight. Puck drop for tonight's game will be at 7:30. After Game 2 tonight, the series will then head to Ottawa. Game 3 will be Thursday night at 7:30. Game 4 will be Saturday afternoon at 3.
Aging well. How you can stay as healthy as possible through your golden years by focusing on what you eat.
And marathon moment. How a teen battling leukemia completed a marathon without leaving the hospital, and what inspired him to rack up the miles. Remember, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
State health leaders are warning about a rise in Legionnaire's disease cases. It's a serious lung infection that spreads through contaminated water mist, not person to person. Older adults, smokers, and people with health conditions, these are the people most at risk. Health leaders urge you to take simple steps at home to help prevent this disease. That could mean flushing unused faucets and properly maintaining equipment. Researchers are looking into an mRNA vaccine, a base vaccine, to fight pancreatic cancer. 16 patients were part of a trial after they underwent chemotherapy, surgery, and used an immunotherapy drug. Workers then created a personalized vaccine, which the patients received over 9 weeks. Half of those patients showed a successful response to the vaccine, and 7 of them were still alive 6 years after the trial. How about that? Researchers say they plan to present their findings at an American Association of Cancer Research today.
Many people strive to age gracefully. While the years are going to tick by, there are things we can do to help, such as keeping a healthy diet and prioritizing protein.
One of the biggest things that happens as people get older is that they really are not eating as much protein as they should be. You need protein, and those amino acids as the building blocks to allow your body to repair kind of the usual wear and tear that occurs daily from regular use. And we're just talking about muscles, but also your skin, your gut, all your tissues.
It is all about protein. As we get older, our muscles tend to shrink, which can put us at risk for osteoporosis, accidental falls, and other injuries. We can help prevent brittle bones by making protein a priority. You might also want to consider following the Mediterranean diet, which has been shown to help improve brain health.
Those are all diets that have high amounts of antioxidants. They have a good cholesterol, good fat to help to promote brain health overall. And they also avoid, certain types of food that are more pro-inflammatory, like the red meats.
Exercise is just as important as we age. Be sure to move regularly and incorporate resistance and weight training into your routine if possible.
Marathon Monday coming up. This Massachusetts teenager we're going to introduce you to did not let his diagnosis stop him from participating in some form of the country's oldest race. Find out how many laps he walked to complete the 26.2-mile dash.
Temperatures are warming up from a cold start this morning, but we will not see 70s today. Elizabeth tells us who could drop into the 30s tonight.
happening now here in the WRAL Live Center. We have an update to a crash that we first reported on at the top of this noon hour. Let's get to video of that Sky 5 scene in Cumberland County on I-87. We now know that at least one person, has died from this very serious crash that happened near Swallowtail Court, again on I-87 in Cumberland County. Right now, we're working to gather more details about the other people involved in this crash.
So ahead of today's Boston Marathon, a Massachusetts teenager battling leukemia completed his own version of the marathon. It took him 6 days, but he completed that goal by walking around the floor of Boston Children's Hospital. NBC's Hallie Jackson introduces us to a teen who embodies the quote, "Run when you can, walk if you have to, just never give up."
My strength is greater than any struggle in front of me.
15-year-old Wesley Arujo is unstoppable. Here in the hallway at Boston Children's Hospital, he's determined to finish a race unlike any other.
I'm here to win, and I'm here to finish this battle as strong as I can.
The Massachusetts teen is battling leukemia. But the lifelong athlete had his eyes on another feat, turning his daily walks into something much bigger.
My physical trainer came in, and she was talking about like the Boston Marathon, and she goes, actually 552 laps around my pod is a marathon. And when she said that, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this right away.
That's when Wesley got going, completing lap after lap and hundreds of trips around his hospital floor. The distance, the same length as the Boston Marathon, 26.2 miles.
You could give me cancer. You could give me chemotherapy, but I'm still not going to stop.
He did his first marathon in just 6 days. And when he reached that final lap, the hospital floor becoming a finish line with cheers fit for a champion. Strength and resilience for the fighter who says he's never giving up.
Well, as we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following for today. So starting today, Raleigh Water is implementing Stage 1 water restrictions. Basically, this will affect usage for more than 600,000 customers. Automatic and manual sprinklers are allowed between midnight to 10 a.m. Homes with odd numbers in their addresses can water on Tuesdays. Even number addresses on Wednesdays.
A former Duke Health employee is facing a felony charge for threatening the university and its staff. Nathaniel Gerald made his first court appearance today. A judge reduced his bond from no bond to $5,000. Investigators say he posted online threats about bringing a gun or planting a bomb at his former workplace. Duke Health says he worked with them from 2022 until August of 2025. His next court date is set for early May.
Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes will try to make it 2 wins in a row to start the Stanley Cup playoffs. They'll host the Ottawa Senators at Lenovo Center, and the Canes won Game 1 of their series on Saturday. They shut out the Senators for a 2-0 win, and puck drop for tonight's game will be at 7:30. You can look for live coverage before and highlights after the game tonight on WRAL.
Thousands of people came together over meatballs in Los Angeles. Hundreds of volunteers and celebrities worked to feed over 3,000 people. Meatball Madness is a part of California's Valley Day of Service. More than 250,000 meatballs were given to those experiencing homelessness yesterday.
We know that there's a lot of folks out there that are in need, and we know that government can be part of the solution, but ultimately we have to partner. We have to bring people together.
Leftover meatballs were frozen for future meals at the soup kitchen.
Michael Jackson's biopic hits theaters this Friday, and the film follows his journey through the Jackson 5 to the early 90s. His nephew Jafar will play the iconic star. He studied and rehearsed Michael's choreography for 2 years just to prepare for this role. And he also read through personal journals and home videos to master Michael's mannerisms. The film will feature 13 songs.
Our pet of the day comes to us from ARF. Lacey is full of life, curiosity, and love. She favors a blue Lacey, which is a breed of working dog, which is possibly how she got her name. If you are looking for a loyal friend to motivate you to get up, out, and walking, Lacey will help keep you company on your healthy routine. Call ARF Rehab at the number on your screen to find out if you're her perfect match.
Coming up on WRAL News at 4 p.m. as droughts conditions put pressures on the water supply, growing demand from data centers is raising new concerns about how much water those facilities use and whether that use would be limited during drought conditions.
A cooler afternoon today, but it's kind of nice not to be in the 90s, right? NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And as always, you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Hope you have a blessed day today.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.